Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today we're going to be working on a car that I bought and kind of maybe introducing it to you guys to the channel here. And yeah, hopefully, oh, can't see me, now you can. Yeah, we're going to be working on it, and I'm probably going to be just showing you around the shop of what's been going on lately with some of the cars that I've got, and where to go from here. Maybe get some input from you guys on what you guys want to see. We all know y'all love the Honda content, and I'm always getting projects done for guys and tuning these cars all the time, but for me, I'm just trying to switch it up a little bit, maybe play with a couple different chassis, and I don't know, just expand my horizons a little bit. Obviously you guys know that, you know, we can do Hondas day in and day out. I've had like 100 of them over the last 10 years, and you know, like I said, it's just kind of something that I've tried to get back into them. I sold Barney, and like I said, I've tried to get back into them, and I feel like the next Honda project I want to do is either going to be like a K series or a J series, but obviously the budget doesn't really allow that right now. So we're going to be doing some other littler projects, or you know, different projects, I suppose. And like I said, ever since I put together a turbo LS car, it's been hard to go back to Hondas, just because turbo LS stuff, I mean, you guys have seen the Chev Stang busting out 8-second quarter miles with a bone stock bottom end 4.8 liter, and really not a whole lot of money. And like I said, it's hard to compare anything to that once you have it. So yeah, anyways, like I said, next Honda project that I do, if I come across anything relatively cheap, I was thinking about building maybe another CRV for winter, because it is getting colder here in Wisconsin. And you know, if that doesn't, you know, if I don't end up getting a CRV or something like that, you know, some sort of all-wheel drive project would be cool again, or you know, like a K series or a J series. I really like what Kyle from Booster Boys is doing with his, I believe it's a 240. He put a J series with like a Holley high ram intake manifold. I think that is just super cool. And like I said, more displacement equals bigger turbos and more horsepower. So, but for the time being, we are going to be pushing this old goat out of the back of the shop here, and we're going to be removing the tired old locked up motor that's in it and the transmission. Yeah, what do you think of this thing, Trevor?
Did you say goat?
Yeah, I call it a goat.
It's a boat.
It's a boat?
It's a boat.
It's the goat boat.
Oh, okay.
The goat boat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I picked this car up for, what did I pay for? Like 500 bucks? 600 bucks? I think I was gonna give him 6, and then the title, he had signed it already. Was that the deal?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, that might be a kind of a workaround to get a title for it or whatever, which I can get a title for now that I know. But you know, it is just something where I kind of bargained a little bit with the price, and I got the car for 500 bucks. So I did take the catalytic converter off of it, and I actually took it to my buddy down in Madison, and hopefully we'll get something for the converter. So hopefully the cost of the car will be somewhere around 400, and we're gonna take the motor and transmission out of it, and I'm also gonna try to sell that to even lower the cost even more. So if we can have, like, say 200 bucks into this whole car, I think it'd be worth doing something with. Maybe just making a hoopty out of, or just some sort of fun car to go fucking ice race with or something. So we're gonna push it onto the hoist and show you around it. All right, guys, so we got the old Cutlass up on the hoist, and we're kind of giving her a once over, checking everything out. It is a little bit weathered. This car was sitting for quite a while, so I mean, you can just tell that, like, on all the suspension parts and stuff, that it's just all kind of, you know, gross looking. Nothing a little black paint can't fix. And then, you know, the floor pan's got a little rust here, but the rest of it, like structure-wise, the frame is awesome. A little bit of the body is rotted, but that's not a big deal. I ain't scared of a little air under my feet. So, as you guys see, I started by cutting the exhaust off. I cut the converter out of the car, and tried to cut, you know, up by the manifolds here to get the exhaust unhooked. Now Trevor's working on pulling the rest of the exhaust off of the car, and I just got done pulling the drive shaft. I believe this is a bone stock rear end. Whatever came in these cars, it's probably like a 7.5 inch 10 bolt. if I could find an 8.5 inch 10 bolt for this car to just kind of drop in, that would be ideal. Just because, you know, the Grand National or, you know, whatever rear ends some of these G bodies came with factory are actually pretty strong. So, like I said, I kind of want to just maybe gut the car as much as I can. I'll probably leave the rear end and stuff in it for now, but if I can find a rear end to put in it, other than this one, you know, like I said, just because it is, you know, one of the cheaper, or not cheaper, one of the, you know, not as desirable 7.5 inch rear end. Also, I know a lot of this stuff, like down here, can be issues with like the stock control arms and stuff like that. So maybe if I can, you know, do a budget build with this thing and put some parts on it, it would be pretty sweet to bring it back to life. But I mean, look at these upper arms. They are pretty nasty looking. And even the rear end like housing. Also, the car's probably gonna need brake lines because, I mean, the brake lines are pretty scary looking. So I pulled the drive shaft out of it, made a mess. Fluid came out of the tail housing. Now we're probably going to disconnect the shifter and this like little plug. I think this transmission's one of them 200 electric or 200 metric. Right there, metric, America. So we're gonna start by pulling the shifter. It's got this little cotter key here. Pull that out and then this rod will come out of the way. And then probably figure out how to get the rest of the stuff on the top disconnected if it needs anything. Then we'll take the cross member out here and we'll probably pull it all out as one unit, motor and training. So we'll get to it. Trevor's gonna get the rest of the exhaust off and we'll probably take the gas tank out of it too, just to eliminate any parts that we can remove off of the car as possible, so we can at least put some like undercoating on the rest of the framing and the body, just because a lot of it has surface rust and is just kind of gross looking. So, but it's all structurally solid. It's all solid, it's just weathered. So Trevor's got the Sawzall. I'll let him get busy.
Yeah.
Woo! Whoa. All right then. Might need to cut it in one more section.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably.
Probably got to cut it so we can get the tailpipe section off and then have the middle as well.
Want to grab this thing quick? It might not go anywhere.
No, I don't think it will. If it does, it'll just come crashing down. You're good. Give her an old twist. Oh yeah. Look at that. Nice scrap metal.
We recycle and reuse.
That's our new hot side for the turbo kit.
Yeah, go 225 on that bitch.
All right, so next we'll probably cut the straps for the fucking gas tank, because fuck trying to take that out. I mean, you could try. What do you think? Think them will come out?
Depends on how many ugly duggies we sit there with.
Let's try it. Let's give her the old earthquake try here.
Sure you don't want to hook up with the DeWalt? She might have some oof in her.
Oh, look at Trevor's new toy. We're gonna have some RC fucking no prep races here soon.
Oh, absolutely.
What size is it? 15. Oh wow, look at that. Didn't even have to cut it. Came right out. It's like it wants to be worked on.
Right?
It says, "Bring me back."
Oh, classic car restoration over here.
You rounded that one?
Yeah.
God damn it, Trevor.
Whatever.
You the new gas tank strap? When your friend rounds your nuts, you always grab the next size down 12 point. And then you have gas tanks fall out of Cutlasses. Look at that. We can sawzall the gas lines. I don't care about that. Or just let it hang. Wow, perfect. Mint. Dialed. Any mice up here?
No, I don't see them.
Wow. Yep. fucking dialed. One gas tank at your service. Wow, that thing looks beautiful. We won't be needing that where we're going. So we got all the gas tank straps off, the exhaust is all off, and the gas tank here. Actually, all the bolts came out removing the gas tank, so that was pretty cool. And now we're moving on to other things. We ripped all the lines off for the tank. And we are trying to figure out what gear ratio is in this diff. I don't really know. I think there is an old school hot rodder trick where you can like mark the tire and then count how many times the tire spins versus how many times the pinion spins. So if I spin this one rotation, this is where the tire location is right now. And if I spin this one rotation, there, that's one rotation.
It was right here.
So it was there, now it's there. We are experts at this. I don't know what that means. If you guys know what gear ratio you think that entails, let me know. Or maybe it's gotta be like 3. You gotta spin it a couple times. We'll spin it one more time. So there it is again.
Yeah.
There's another rotation.
It's farther back.
So now it's even farther back.
To do it again.
All right, I'll spin it again.
Probably gotta measure the distance from like there to there or something like that, and it'll tell you something stupid.
I don't know. Anybody all old school hot rodders, let me know what that gear ratio looks like.
For pulling this motor and putting anything in it, it's getting a Holly. If that's the case, I'm just gonna cut the fucking harness. Because fuck all that bullshit, besides the headlight harness.
I don't know how we would power the headlights and stuff, but...
Through Holly or what?
No, well, yeah, obviously Holly just needs frickin' 3. It needs less wires than this engine needed to run back in fucking 1986.
Right, but I'm just saying the engine harness and all that stuff that's ran through, you don't need that shit if you run a Holly.
Right.
But if you're not gonna do it, then you have to pull all the harness.
Isn't that what all the old school hot rodders always say? There's fucking 6 wires and these things are running?
More like 50.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of wiring, but
More than Terminator.
yeah, it's more. This is more wiring than a frickin' Holly Terminator takes. Anyways, so we have the goat boat down here on the ground again, and Trevor's getting distracted here.
Oh.
Anywho, we have to yank this boat anchor out of here, and we're trying to. We're pretty much just cutting all the stuff that we don't need out of the car. It still has like a power steering pump and stuff here that's just chilling, and I know that you can adapt these lines to an LS to keep the power steering if you wanted. I did that on my, what was my other Regal, 81? 82 Buick Regal, something like that. One of the first cars on the channel. If you guys remember that car, leave a like so I know how many of y'all are OGs. But anyways, so we are trying to I don't know, my strategy is pretty much just hook the cherry picker up, unbolt the mounts and yank. And whatever comes with it, we'll find out. Because like I said, this thing, we're not gonna be using any of it. We may sell the engine to somebody as a core. You know, maybe somebody still wants something like this to put in one of their cars. I don't know why they would, but it's new age hot rodding, guys. This is new age stuff, and this stuff is pretty much scrap metal at this point in my eyes. It's a new breed out there, and we're trying to implement some of that stuff and get some new faces at the racetrack too. So thanks for all the support on the last video, guys. Gave me a lot of good feedback. I posted on Facebook too and got quite a bit of good feedback there as well. I'm really trying to work with the track owners, and we're gonna try to bring some new stuff to the track, some new faces to the track, and just make it a better, cooler place to be. So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna hook the cherry picker up to this thing, and we're gonna get to yanking. But first we have to pull the motor mounts and the cross member off.
Yeah.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Cross member. Otherwise the car's coming with it.
Yes. All right, guys, so we got the 2 motor mount bolts out. One right there where my finger is, and then one right there. Got the 2 mount bolts out, and we got the cross member off. And now the tranny is, you know, marking its territory. Where'd you put the cross member? Oh, yeah. So the cross member came out fairly easy. Obviously, everything is super rusty on this car, just like, you know, surface, scale, you know, scale rust, all that kind of stuff. But we did get the cross member out of there, and yeah, I don't know what parts I'm all gonna need for this thing to put an LS in it, but we'll play it by ear, I guess. And yeah, the motor and tranny are literally just resting in there. Nothing's really holding it. So we're gonna lower the car back down and then hook up the cherry picker and catch up with y'all in a minute. You know, a plus side about working on one of these cars, you know, when you make a mess taking your transmission out of your car, at least you have enough rust that falls from the car to use as oil dry. And yeah, hopefully we won't have to buy any oil dry, because the rust will soak it all up. Well, the old Cutlass is coming apart. We hooked up the cherry picker. We had some exhaust piping that was still connected and was in the way. But what a freaking anchor this thing is. A lot of stuff going on this old freaking motor.
Yeah, we're fucked too, because this is maxed.
Cherry picker's maxed out?
Yeah.
Well, we gotta figure out how to get it the rest of the way out. We got a tranny cooler line here that's hooked on something. We gotta yank this out of the way. There we go. Might be able to just scoot it out a little farther and be able to lift up the back of it, but what are those wires for? Those are vacuum lines?
Yeah. I don't need those.
And then where does this attach it to the car?
It's fucking down here.
Where?
Way down here. Probably underneath this whole fucking shit.
Gotta try to unhook the harness from the motor.
Motherfucker got an O2 sensor.
Right?
With one wire.
Oh, she's bleeding. That time of the month. Well, we're just cleaning our mess now, and as you see, there's no engine or transmission in the car. It is actually sitting over here. We actually had a hell of a time getting it out of there because my cherry picker is quite low on fluid because it leaks out of one of the seals. This cherry picker has been with me since, I don't know, my first engine swap. I think I bought this for 50 bucks off of a local automotive shop, and it's been through the ringer, let me tell you what. Here's the old Olds 307. I called it a Chevy 305 and some guy yelled at me. It's Oldsmobile, get it right. And then it's got the 200 metric tranny. So I don't know if anybody's interested in this. If it doesn't sell in a couple days, I'll probably just scrap it. So anybody local to Wisconsin wants that thing, let me know. So yeah, I guess the plan from here is no idea. Like I said, I got this car fairly cheap. You know, say if we sell the engine and transmission, say we got $300 to $400 into this car. You know, it's obviously nothing special, but if I can stick maybe $1,000 to $1,500 into it and have something cool at the end of the day, I think it'd be fun. And we can just go hoon it and go do burnouts and yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think I should do with it. I'm not opposed to putting some suspension parts on it either, just because a lot of it is kind of old and wore out. So, I mean, I don't know if there's like any cheap kits out there that have like, you know, say lower control arms and springs and shocks and everything like that. I haven't even looked on eBay or anything for this car yet. And then maybe some rear suspension parts too. And if I can find a rear end anywhere like kind of locally close for a decent price. Obviously I want this to be like cheap budget turbo LS build. We'll see what we can do with it. I don't know exactly. I mean, I might overspend on it a little bit if I get a Holly, but I don't know. Like I said, drop the ideas down in the comments, guys, of what you think we should do with this thing. And I think we did figure out the gear ratio on this. It's somewhere in the 270, 250 gear ratio, so it's definitely a highway puller. I mean, this thing they probably geared it really high to get good gas mileage, but it having an overdrive transmission and a 250 rear gear or 270 rear gear, dude, this thing's got to idle down the highway at like probably 800 RPM doing 80. I have no idea though. Like I said, guys, I actually already have a set of wheels and slicks for a G-body, so that's cool. So we can, you know, maybe just run some of these little piece of shit things up front, and then we have a set of drag slicks we could put on the back. I think leaving it look like a hoopty is kind of my plan. Just go mop up with it. I don't know. It probably isn't going to be like stupid fast, but I'm sure we can make a pretty easy 10-second car. And then maybe have my dad drive it, or Trevor drive it, or any of the guys around. Maybe just build it as like a fun little fuck around car. You guys let me know what we should all do to it. I don't know. I mean, obviously we could go with like the junkyard motor, junkyard LS motor, and then I don't know what transmission I want to put in it. If I can find a really stupid cheap 4L80, it would be considered, but at the end of the day, you also have to consider controlling the 4L80 costs money. So if we got a Holley Terminator X Max, we can run the 4L80 transmission and control it with the Holley. That system is a couple $100 more than the typical Terminator X that you can run like a non-electric transmission with. So if we put like a Turbo 400 in it, we could do that as well, but Turbo 400s usually take a little bit more money to make strong, or to make last, I should say. And then plus we would need a shifter too, but I bet you we could maybe use the column shifter with a 4L80. I don't know if that'd be possible, because it is kind of like I don't know if it's a thing that you could do with this little linkage rod here. If we pulled off the rod or the attachment that goes onto the 200 metric tranny, if we can attach that onto here onto a 4L80, because most all GM transmissions have kind of the same style, like you know, set up for the shifter that bolts onto the transmission, so we could probably utilize something like that. But I mean, if we pulled all the suspension parts off of this car, the rear end out of it, everything, went through and painted the whole, or undercoated the whole bottom of it, and then, you know, chuck new brake lines on it or whatever, and then maybe some front suspension parts, I don't know. My mind is turning. The gears are rolling.
Not those.
What?
Not those gears.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I don't know what we should do with it. You guys let me know. It'd be a fun little hoopty to make fast. And you know, the black car obviously is coming up. I have a lot of parts that I got for it already, but you know, I don't know. This one I might be taking my time with. I don't quite exactly know how long this car is going to take. It will obviously be out next spring, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it done in time for this year. I kind of want to go through the whole thing and cage it and do everything right away, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys. Have a great night and better tomorrow. We will see you later. Hopefully, you know, more project cars coming soon. I have a couple more that I want to show you, and we'll get to working on and get your inputs on what we should do with them. So thanks for watching. See you later.